Hear ye, hear ye. The following scene is a reenactment of Perry versus Schwarzenegger, the Prop 8 trial heard in U.S. District Court. Dr. Ilan Meyer, expert witness for the plaintiffs on the stigma and prejudice gays and lesbians face in society, is under direct examination by the plaintiff's lawyer, Christopher Dussault. The plaintiffs in this case are two loving same-sex couples who simply want to marry, just as any heterosexual couple in America has a right to do.
What is Exhibit 1011?
This is a chapter from a book that I've relied on and that I've used in teaching as an example of. So maybe I should say what the book is. So this is a chapter from a book that was published in the late 60s, and it was a very popular book. It was called Everything You Ever Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask. It was very, very popular. I have a hardcover edition that's the 17th edition of this book, and that was published in 1969. And I personally remember the book. So in this book, there are different chapters that aim to educate the public about different issues concerning sexuality. And this particular chapter is concerning male homosexuality.
And this is a book that had wide distribution.
Absolutely.
Could we put up demonstrative 2, please? Now, I'm going to ask you about this, but what I would like you to do is to just read the text into the record so it's clear what you're addressing.
Well, may I explain something about this?
Of course.
Sorry. So the book is written in a question and answer format. And basically, the author goes through explaining sexual issues as if there's a question that someone is asking about, and then he provides the answer. So this is an excerpt of one of those questions and answers.
Okay. So the question posed is, what about all the homosexuals who live together happily for years? And the answer is, what about them? They are mighty rare birds among the homosexual flock. Moreover, the happy part remains to be seen. The bitterest argument between husband and wife is a passionate love sonnet by comparison with a dialogue between a butch and his queen. Live together? Yes. Happily? Hardly. Is this text from this book an example of the stigma that you're talking about, sir?
Yes. I think this is a very dramatic experience of what I was referring to, where, in this case, an educational book portrays the relationship between, in this case, gay men with great disrespect, ridicule, and contempt. So that was one example of what I was referring to.
At what stage in life does stigma begin to affect gay men and lesbians?
Well, stigma really affects all people in society because it's a social norm, if you will. It's something that we all in society learn from a very young age. It affects gay men and lesbians in a particular way because, well, it's something that's very pertinent to how they think about who they are. In my mind, this kind of stigma on other stereotypes are very impactful, especially at the younger age. And in particular in the time of life where gay men and lesbians, usually during their youth, either realize or recognize that they know they're gay and they begin to try to understand what that means to them. And of course, the most available reference that they would have to these kinds of things is what they've learned over their lifetime, over their childhood, socialization that we've all been exposed to. So it affects everybody, but certainly it affects in a very strong way someone who is or may be coming out and realize that he or she is gay, and then that's what they might have to believe is what's in line for them.